That's what we like to see. Yeah, I shot mine. I text him and he's text me back. He said, I've got deer here right now. And I'm like, let's double up. And he's like, text me 2 minutes later. Killed one.
Here we are. We are in Ohio on a very, very small piece of land. When I say very small, I think it's about 8 acres, but the actual area that I can set up on is about 2 or 3 at most. So it's very close quarters. Bow hunting only, which is not a law for this property or this size of property. It's just a rule that I kind of made up because it's just too close to houses. It's doe hunting tonight. I already shot a buck at this property with my bow back in October. I have not shot a single doe in Ohio yet this year. And so yesterday, I came out here with my son and we put out a whole bunch of corn. And I know there's a lot of mixed feelings on that topic. But when you're hunting permission, and you're also hunting in a very small property, there's not really a whole lot of other options, to be able to bring those deer through it. Hopefully, in the situation tonight, it works in our favor. You might think something like that would keep deer from coming out here, but it doesn't, and that's something that I would love to make a video talking about, which is the difference between predator type of pressure, which is what I am right now, and just ordinary pressure that the deer are used to. That type of pressure over there, those kids making a bunch of noise and hitting each other with those little drift cars. They do that all the time. The deer aren't fazed by it. Or even the neighbor over here to my other side. I literally shot a doe right here last year at like 20 yards, and he was literally cutting firewood 50, 60 yards away maybe. I mean, literally like right. I mean, I can see the guy, he's standing right there in his yard cutting wood, and the doe was literally not 40 or 50 yards from him, and I'm only like 60 yards from him. And they were just sitting there eating. They weren't even fazed. I've had so many situations where I'm at the tip of this hill in this pine tree, and sometimes the wind will swirl. It'll hit these pines and kind of swirl if it's blowing too hard. There can be kids out there playing 80 yards away. There can be a guy cutting wood right there 60 yards away, as long as he stays in his yard where he normally is working anyway. But if the wind swirls, they smell me in the street right here at 25 yards. Or even at 40, 50 yards. Like, if they smell me and I'm anywhere within the area that they're not used to people being, even though I'm still like so close to so much human activity, they will instantly throw their nose up and bolt. I mean, just gone. And again, it's like those invisible boundaries. Like the deer know where they are, where it's normal. It might be annoying, it might be loud, but it's normal for their environment. And they know when that human pressure is a little too close to be normal. And that's what spooks them. It's like if you go out in the mountains, it doesn't matter. And no matter where you are in the mountains, if a deer smells you, they're out. But when you're hunting like suburban areas or really close to houses, they'll deal with people and the scent of people all the time, as long as they're within the normal, the normalcy for that area. Staying around their houses, doing yard works, cutting wood over right by his garage, the kids playing down in the yard. If it's within the normal for that area, it doesn't faze them. As soon as you start to intrude on that normal, that invisible line, they're spooky immediately. Like, they will bolt, they will throw their nose and tail up, snort, run. I mean, they won't hang around. I think it's very interesting how many people don't understand that. And it's usually people who they're not used to hunting around human pressure. I mean, mean, you can literally hear the neighbors. I actually shot another deer last year, another doe. And the neighbors, like the husband and wife, were arguing on their back porch, like 70 yards away here. I mean, they were just going back and forth, and there's deer coming in, feeding. They just randomly will look at them, but they just keep on feeding, shoot them. And it's not that, oh, those deer are tame, or those deer are, you know, whatever. It's not that. It's just they have certain things in their environment that they're familiar with, and certain things that they're not. And just like anything else, as soon as something is abnormal to what they're used to, they're triggered just like any other whitetail, and they're gone and spooked. And it can still be hard to get them to come to this corn pile or this spot in general. Again, in daylight for several days, even a couple weeks if it's a buck, you know, until they, you know, they just think maybe, you know, maybe as long as they don't see me, you know, maybe the wind just swirled a little different. Maybe I didn't smell them as close as I thought. I don't know. But it's interesting hunting deer that are really close to human pressure. It's unusual. It's different. And I'm not gonna say it's harder or easier either way. I mean, I know there's guys that until they hunted this spot, they're like, why would I hunt with you in that spot? You're too close to people. You're not gonna shoot a deer there. I'm like, dude, just trust me. Like, they're used to it. Like, they're not gonna be used to you sitting in a tree stand sitting there. Like, if you're sitting there, they see you or smell you, they're gone. But in terms of the normal human pressure, it doesn't faze them. They're used to it. So, just something to think about. I'd love to do like almost a podcast style video on it. And I'd love to have on a couple of my buddies that are not used to hunting anything close to human pressure, and just kind of go back and forth with them on the theory of deer being okay with it if they're used to it, you know. Because, you know, it's just a different mindset, but it's a real thing. she's down right there.
We're actually here with my buddy from Pennsylvania now. I got my doe cleaned up and in the truck and came over here to help him because he got one too. There you go. I'm using this old handheld camcorder, so it's not incredible video. You still on?
Yep.
That crashing you heard is probably her rolling into this crap.
It goes all the way up here.
There we go. Look at that. That's what we like to see. It's really watered down. It's been raining like on and off all day, but it's holding off for now. Thank goodness. Dude, she's bleeding a lot. But we've only gone like 55 yards, 60 yards.
60 yards.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's smeared all over the tree.
There she is.
Oh, yeah, she's right there.
So she was quartering at the lid. That's the end whip. Yep.
Oh, look at the blood coming out of there now. Holy smokes.
So that was my entrance, and then it came down a little bit lower right here.
No, so she was pretty much broadside.
Yeah, she's pretty close to broadside,
cool.
right behind the shoulder.
Sweet. There we are. Yeah, I shot mine. I texted him and he's texted me back. He said, I've got deer here right now. And I'm like, let's double up. And he's like, text me 2 minutes later. Killed one. Because he was gonna pass those. Because, what'd you have happen this morning?
I had a stud come in.
Stud as in like...
A giant 8-pointer.
145
to 150 inch 8-pointer.
Yeah, hammer. And then tonight, it's supposed to start pouring rain here in less than an hour, and we knew it was supposed to rain all night, so I'm like, well, if you're gonna shoot a doe, shoot one tonight and it'll rain all night. You know, it'll clean our scent out pretty well. There she is. Not a bad afternoon though.
Not at all.
We made some quick work of it. Well guys, that is going to be a wrap on that video I tried to record yesterday. Unfortunately, it was pretty much about dark by the time I tracked my doe, and I was solo, and I had to go pick up my buddy who was hunting about probably about 10 minutes away from where I was. And it was one of those things where we were supposed to get hammered with rain, which we ended up getting by the time I got back to my house. And so it was one of those things where, you know, I just try to get out of the stand, get my gear dropped off at my truck, go back, track the deer, grab the deer, tag it, drag it out, put it in the truck, and try to make it over there to pick him up, because I actually dropped him off. So if I wouldn't go over there to get him and help get his deer out of there and pick him up, he did not have a vehicle. And I'm like, man, if it's really supposed to start pouring rain in the next hour, assuming, you know, everything goes smooth, I'll be okay to get over there and get him out in time. But if not, you know, I'd hate to have him sitting over there in the rain waiting on me and then have trouble tracking his deer or something if the blood washes out. So yeah, so that's a wrap on that video. Congrats to my buddy Jer on getting his doe, and everything was clean. We both made nice clean shots. No meat went to waste. Hits were good, and blood trails were nice and plentiful and short. So anyways guys, I will catch you in the next video. I'm going to actually get out to the stand right now. I'm headed back to the same spot. I do have one more doe tag for this county, and at this point in the season, bucks aren't really chasing does, not really around here at least. And the gun season's over. You know, I kind of waited to fill my doe tags until the neighbors were done gun hunting. Everybody's kind of done rut hunting. You know, I didn't want to, you know, chance shooting does and having to track them through neighboring properties or anything like that. So I kind of wanted to wait until we, as well as the neighbors that I have a relationship with in those areas, we're done buck hunting for the year. And so, yeah, having a good time, and we're gonna head out tonight and see if we can't fill that other doe tag. And if we do, of course, you will see the video here. I'll catch you guys in the next one.